Alright, so right before I start this video, I know I already have a preface coming up really quickly, but just before I start this part of the video, I just want to say that this video was supposed to be 2 separate parts talking about both multiplayer and zombies, and I'm just going to say now that I'm not going to have enough time to actually edit both multiplayer and zombies into this before Christmas like I wanted to. There's going to be 2 separate parts to this video. One will be before Christmas, one will be much after Christmas, probably sometime before February, I hope. So hopefully that's alright with you guys. I'm really sorry that I couldn't get all that out for you guys in time. I'm really bummed out about it myself, but most I can do is at least get the multiplayer part out and then hope for the best. So I'm not going to be cutting out all of this zombie stuff that I mentioned in the video, but overall just remember that this is only going to be multiplayer, so just push all that out of your brain. Just completely forget about the fact that I was supposed to do zombies in this video too. And anyway, we can just get on with the actual preface to the video. So yeah, see you guys. Really quickly before I start this video, I just want to say that I know about all the stuff that's gone on with Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick and all that. Now I will probably not be supporting the Call of Duty franchise and just Activision as a whole after this game unless some really serious changes are made to their company. If you want more details on all of this, feel free to go do your own research. I'm not going to be providing any details here, and just kind of catch yourself up so that you can make your own decisions on, this if you are a fan of Call of Duty and stuff. So with all that out of the way, let's get on to the video. Call of Duty is a long-running franchise, one stretching back as far as 2003, when Infinity Ward and Activision made the first game for Windows. As of the recording of this video, the franchise has released upwards of 24 games, not including any add-ons or DLCs from past installments. With the newest release of Call of Duty Vanguard, I chose to take a new approach to my content and create just a longer and much more fleshed out style of video, and cover most of Call of Duty Vanguard while giving my thoughts on it. By that, I mean the overall look, the gameplay, and just giving my opinions on it as a whole. I've played every Call of Duty game since the release of Black Ops 1, and I'd say I have the ability to give my thoughts on it and not sound clueless with what I talk about. So with this new turn on my content, this video will be very informative on the multiplayer and zombies aspects of the game. Now I know everyone has already read the title of the video, so let's just hop straight into what today's video is about. What is wrong with Call of Duty Vanguard? Now, I have a good bit of time on Call of Duty Vanguard, and from my own personal experiences, I have to just say I can't fully enjoy the game. There's just a lot of things in the game that make it kind of hard to enjoy, so in my opinion, it's just kind of one of the lesser Call of Duties. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's hop straight into the multiplayer. Now, obviously, I can't say from everybody's experiences what they do when they first load into a Call of Duty game, but my first thing that I do, I like to camo grind. My main thing is camo grinding. It's really fun to me. So when I load into, the actual game, my first thing I want to do is check my loadouts, and I want to check out, what camos I gotta start grinding as I start playing. With Call of Duty Vanguard, though, every single time that I load into the game, it takes anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes for my entire weapon loadouts to even, let me access them. It acts as if I'm a level 1 that just bought the game and has never played the game before, and I can't access my loadouts, I can't access my perks, I can't access my armory. It's just kind of like these things that are more quality of life based that really go a long way because I've never had this issue with another Call of Duty game, and it's just really odd to me to see this. I don't know if it's a console thing or if it's just the actual game itself being like this, but if there's any word on this and I have just not seen it anywhere that I've researched, then please give me some word in the comment section below. If you also have this issue, please leave it in the comment section below. Now, this might just be a personal thing where I think it feels longer than it really is, but the matchmaking time and then just in general the time loading into the game feels like it takes a lot longer than other Call of Duties have in the past, but that could just be a me thing, just me thinking otherwise and being like, oh, Call of Duty Vanguard's bad, I don't like it, so the load times probably are bad too. That's just probably a personal thing, but if you also understand what I'm saying, then give me some feedback in the comments below. Now let's just talk weapons, let's talk classes. The main gist of Call of Duty is all about the weapons and the classes and all that. Start off on a positive note, there were 38 weapons on launch of Call of Duty Vanguard, which is really good. Comparatively to Modern Warfare, it's only one less weapon, 39 weapons was on the launch of Modern Warfare, and Cold War on launch only had 29 weapons, which comparatively is really good for Call of Duty Vanguard because of the fact that they had so many more weapons on launch. 9 weapons is a lot of weapons in my opinion because it's so much more variety. It gives a lot of players a lot of different opportunities opportunities to try new weapons, see what kind of things they want to run with, whether they're playing casually or camo grinding, and know like what weapon they want to use afterwards. Now on top of all of this, I just also want to comment on the fact that they have the return of the Modern Warfare and Cold War customizing system, which personally I really enjoy. I really like having so much customization, which the only bad note is like there's always going to be that one really easy meta setup for every gun. It's kind of taking the purpose out of having like over, I don't know, 100 attachments on each weapon, somewhere near that, probably not as many as I'm thinking, maybe like 50. It kind of takes away that purpose, but it still is really nice to have so much customization. There's so many different scopes, so many different barrels and like magazines and stocks and all that kind of stuff, and just to me it's really cool to see all of these different attachments on a weapon. I don't know, I've always liked that. I just think having so much extra customization is just a really good thing for the game. So with having so many weapons in this game, it also adds for a little bit of unbalance. Not everything is going to be perfectly balanced like we would wish it would be. Everything's going to be a little bit off balance just because there's so many things they have to make sure that they're keeping in check. And with this are the ARs and the SMGs, specifically the STG and the MP40 respectively. So the STG and MP40 are the first two weapons in those classes that you will unlock. STG is the first AR you will unlock, and MP40 is the first SMG you will unlock. And as them being the first two AR and SMG weapons to unlock, you can get a lot of stuff for them really quickly. You can level these weapons up as soon as you start playing the game, and after you start leveling them up, obviously you're going to get a lot more attachments for them, which makes the OP classes for them a lot easier to access than all the other weapons that you have to level up for and, you know, do all this other stuff for. There's not really any like skill involved. You can just run around hip fire with certain classes, or you can just run around in ADS, or you can camp with easy classes with literally the most laser aim, and it's just kind of hard to enjoy sometimes. I don't know, maybe it's just me nitpicking, but all in all, it's just kind of hard to enjoy fully. Now another weapon with a lot of unbalance, obviously this has been a long running thing in the Call of Duty franchise, the shotguns. Shotguns have always been super overpowered in some games, and this game is no exception whatsoever. Let's just talk about Gung Ho. So everyone, if you have played Call of Duty for a long time, knows what Gung Ho is. It allows you to, you know, sprint and shoot at the same time, and in this game they specifically added it as a proficiency, I believe, to your shotgun classes. And so with having a good shotgun class, adding this proficiency on it, you can run around and hip fire everybody really easily, and it's really scary to see somebody bolting at you in shipment and just them running all the way across the map just to completely destroy you in 2 shots or so, maybe even 1, with a shotgun with Gung Ho. It's just really sad. On top of this entire class setup with the Gung Ho, I'm gonna be playing a clip in the background right now of this person getting a 33-second V2 rocket with a Gung Ho shotgun class. It is really sad to watch this because 33 seconds for something that is 25 kills is really sad. I mean, on top of that, it's on one of the smallest maps in the game, Das House. Watching it back while I'm editing it is going to be kind of hard to watch just because seeing this happen so easily, it really defeats kind of like, you know, the excitement someone would get if they got a nuke. The nuke is supposed to be a really hard thing to get, and with people being able to run around in 33 seconds and get this nuke, I don't know, it upsets me personally. Now let's cover another gun that a lot of people find controversial in this game, the Owen gun. Now let's just talk really quickly. This footage all in the background of the Owen gun is going to be me using it. I am not using a single attachment on this weapon whatsoever. There's not going to be a single attachment on this weapon, and I'm not going to cut much footage out, but you will see it's not a bad weapon. A lot of people diss on this weapon for being awful. It's because it has a slow fire rate, and it's just not as good with short range fights as what people say. It does have a slow fire rate. I will admit the fire rate was a little bit slower than I would have wished, and I could have won a lot more gunfights if the fire rate was a little higher. But with it being a base SMG, not having any attachments, it was fine. It was perfectly fine to run around with. I could hip fire with it, I could ADS with it. I was almost on a merciless, I believe, in one of these clips. Honestly, it's not an awful weapon, and I know it'd be much better with attachments if you could up the fire rate. Perfect, that's all you really need to do. Up the fire rate, you'll be fine. Add a scope on there, long range, perfect. Overall, the Owen gun is very dissed on for being a bad weapon. Personally, it's not a bad weapon at all, and I think a lot of these people that are using the Owen gun just don't know how to use the Owen gun. It's more of a long range weapon, yeah. Just make sure you keep your distance with it if you do choose to use it. Finally, I want to just talk about the launchers really quickly. The launchers are very hit or miss with me. They're either very weak or very strong. So in this footage that you're watching right now, you're going to be seeing me use the M1 bazooka, and on shipment, you know, it's a close quarters map, very close quarters. I am shooting these people straight on with the rocket launcher, but most of the time that they get hit, they either die first or they take no damage at all. And it seems like when I don't ADS, I don't know, I mentioned this to my friend, whenever I didn't ADS, I always got the kill almost every single time. And every single time I did ADS, I never got the kill. And I don't know what the reason was for that, but it was just like very coincidental that happened. On top of this, I just want to mention for another topic with the camos, this is one of those things because, you know, every Call of Duty for the most part has had a rocket launcher that locked on to aerial score streaks, and you had to destroy aerial score streaks. For people that have never tried to aim outward from a thing and have to like actually hit it and not just kind of ADS at it, wait for it to lock on and shoot, it's really hard. I did it on my first try. I don't think I have footage of it, but it's not easy for new players to try to do that. So I just want to like compensate for all the newer players out there that I feel your pain. I understand. We can get through this together if we're grinding out for Atomic. Really quickly before I continue this section, I just want to make sure that I get across that I recorded all of this during the preseason of Call of Duty Vanguard, so I did not have any of the footage of the new characters or the new finishing moves or the new skins, so I'm going to make sure I clarify all of that while that section comes up, and I just want to say that really quickly now before I continue everything. Alright, now we're going to be talking about the operators. If you don't already know what the operators are characters that you play as in-game that kind of just show off your character, and in past installments of the games, we have seen operators, quote unquote. You can customize their skins at least, but not really them. It's kind of how it used to be with Cold War and Modern Warfare, where you could just choose a character, maybe get a skin or two for them, but besides that, that's it. So I just want to start off really quickly with just the menu for the operators. It is rough to look at. I'm gonna be 100% honest. This menu is bad. A lot of the characters that you'll see in this footage right here, they're super low quality and grainy. It looks like a port of Half-Life. It looks actually horrendous in my opinion. Like, it's genuinely hard to look at. I don't know if this is a console thing, but if it's not a console thing, they need to get some better rendering on these characters. It is hard. They do not look like they are even in the scene. They look like they are cut out and just kind of pasted right there. Now, another thing I want to touch on with the operators is I like their base designs. They're pretty, you know, average. They're all just kind of people from World War II, you know? But half of the people that are actually characters that you can play as are from the campaign. There's Arthur, there's Lucas, there's Polina. They're all just from the campaign. This has obviously been fixed now because there are more than just those 12 operators. There's a couple more for season 1. But besides that, yeah, there's still just the regular 6, the new 6, and now there's just an extra 2 added on. Now, another thing I want to touch on are just the skins for the characters. All the skins for the characters look the same. I'm gonna be 100% honest. They have their base skin, then they have 2 other skins that change their color, then they have one epic skin that every character has universally, which they all look the same, and they have an epic skin. They all look the exact same. They all have the same mask, the same hat, the same color outfits. It's not really like cool to see these new characters. It's really hard to differentiate what each character looks like. With season 1 now, at least every character has upwards of 10 skins, and they have about 1 to 3 of their own unique skin, which is a lot better than having all of the characters having the exact same rare and epic skin. Now I want to cover the signature finishing moves. Now the finishing moves, in my opinion, are pretty cool. I'd say that the base finishing move is very mediocre, but I mean, it still looks alright. And on top of that, the signature finishing moves, all of them look really good. I have to say, all of the really good finishing moves are the signature ones. What I don't like is that you have to unlock them to even preview what they look like. This issue was fixed after season 1 came out. One issue that did arise after the release of season 1 with the finishing moves is that all of the new finishing moves are, one, they're all Christmas related, which, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But the other thing is that they're all the exact same between all the characters. It's basically just all of the characters are able to use the exact same 7 finishing moves plus the base finishing move, and then they have 1 signature finishing move. Out of 9 separate finishing moves, they only get 1 finishing move that is their own. And I feel like that's kind of a waste. They could have put a lot more effort into giving each individual character their own few finishing moves that are signature just to them. But, you know, that's just Call of Duty for you. Last thing I want to touch on with the operators are the stupid quips. I hate quips so much. They're so useless to this game. Nobody cares about them. I really don't think anybody has taken the time to customize them. I just think they are stupid. They should not be in the game. Nobody likes them. I don't think any person wants them in the game. I don't think any person cares about them in the game. Quips need to be removed just for my account though. I don't want quips on my account. Please fuck. Next thing we're going to cover is the camos, and oh my god, I just want to talk about Atomic Camo. Atomic Camo is so cool. It is Damascus, but just 10 times as beautiful, bro. It is animated Damascus. That's the way to put it, is animated Damascus. I love it so much. One of the best completionist camos in my opinion, honestly. Probably my top 3. Now, one thing I wanted to complain about is that they did bring back the system from Modern Warfare, where you have to get 100 camos to get your gun to gold, and it's not awful. It just takes a little bit longer to grind out your weapons. And the other thing I have to complain complain about it is the fact that almost every one of your weapons that you want to get gold on, you have to level it up to level 70. The good thing is that they made sure not to do launchers and melee weapons, so all 4 of the launchers, the riot shield, and the knife do not need to be leveled up at all to start getting camos on it, which I am very happy about. But all of the other weapons do need to be leveled up to level 70 at least to get these camo challenges started with. I mean, it does make gold more rewarding in my opinion, but it just takes a lot longer to grind. Now, another thing is that some of the camo challenges are fully bugged and you can't track kills with it. The one that I know of still being bugged as of the recording of this video is the STG.
Multi-kills are still not tracking, and the long-range kills are still not tracking, and also the 10 attachment kills are still not tracking.
The STG won't track certain kills for a kill challenge. On top of that, they already patched the knife glitch and the riot shield glitch, but beforehand, it said that you had to stun enemies and then get kills while they were stunned, and in reality, they messed that up bad, and they made it you had to stun yourself and then get a kill while you were stunned. Thankfully, they fixed it, and I finally got my knife gold. I am so thankful for getting that stupid knife gold. They just kind of have some pretty buggy things going on with some of the camo tracking, and they really need to make sure they're working on that, because you know that's a really big focus in the game. So as long as that's getting fixed, then people won't be complaining. Now what you're about to watch me do right now in this clip is going to be a video of me unlocking the completionist camos with a very easy glitch. And now with this glitch you were able to unlock gold, diamond, atomic, and then also you can do the zombies, you can do the golden viper, plague, diamond, and then the dark ether camo. You can unlock all of these with a very simple glitch. All you did was take your mouse and you hovered it over the none, and then after you're doing that, you would take a controller that was also connected to either your computer or your Xbox, and you would press left on the D-pad and A at the same time, or whatever button you use to select the weapon. And in doing so, you could unlock any of the completionist camos, and it was really bad because it went on for like I think the first couple of weeks of launch, maybe in the first full month, but they finally patched it. Thankfully they patched it, you know, because I was one of the people that was doing it. Even though I dropped $60 on it of my own money, I would not care if I got banned or reset to level 1 or lose all my camo progress. I would not care whatsoever. Yeah, I will admit I was one of the people that were running around with the glitched atomic camo. It looks nice. I'll have to say it does look really nice, but yeah, I just didn't really care, to be honest. Now we're gonna get into the real nitty-gritty stuff, you know, the maps. We're gonna talk about the stuff that you play on every single time you load up this game. Now, on launch, there were 16 maps, and 2 of which were World at War remasters, which is really good. You know, there's 14 original maps with 2 new remasters from World at War, Castle and Dome, which are perfectly fine. You know, those are good maps. Those are very fun maps, and it's nice to see them in a newer Call of Duty game. And comparatively to other Call of Duty games, let's say Black Ops 4, for example, it had 14 maps, and 4 out of the 14 maps were remakes. So there were only 10 original maps, 4 of which were just completely remakes. And it was hard to like it because there was such little map variety. On top of that, a lot of the maps are really easy just to get a hang of. You can really understand the map layout in just a couple times playing it. I don't know if it's like that for every other person or every other game that they've played off Call of Duty, but in my opinion, this game was really easy to get the layout of all of the maps. Now, I want to just say really quickly, almost every map is great. The only map I truly have a complaint about is Numa Numa. I don't know what it is with this map. I think it's just the fact that it's so close quarters in my thoughts. Nobody really stays to the back of the map, which I think is a good thing. But at the same time, if you play on Blitz, it is just so congested. It is awful to play on. And everything is right there. There's very little cover. And in the cover anyway, the cover has no real support. You can't really hide behind it. It doesn't really help you. There's nothing really good about Numa Numa. And I don't think anybody can positively say something about Numa Numa. It's just a bad map. It's ugly. It has bad cover. You can't really hide anywhere if you really wanted to. Like, there's really no good camping spots if you really wanted to try to find one. There's nothing good on Numa Numa in my opinion. I don't really want to keep going into it. I just don't like the map. Now let's go a little bit into the more selective maps. Now we have 2 selective maps in this game. We have Shipment, which has made a return in almost every single Call of Duty not made by Treyarch. And we have a new type of map similar to Shoot House from Modern Warfare. It's called Das House. And so Das House, I want to do a little bit of a quote-unquote rant about it. So I like the map. It's a really good map. The only issues with it is that it's just a lot of campers. Either people are camping or it's just people running around with shotguns and they're just spraying through everybody. It's not entertaining when that's the only demographic that's on that game, but overall it's just a good map. It's fast-paced, which is really enjoyable. It's really easy to get camos on, and I think it's always going to be one of my favorite maps. It's not a super close quarters map, but it's not a super like wide map. It's similar to Nuketown, but a little bit bigger. I just enjoy the map itself. It's honestly just a really good pick for a map. Next, I want to talk about Shipment. Now, Shipment is very small, it feels like, in comparison to the other games. I don't know why. I think it might just be because you can have up to 8 players instead of 6 on it, but in my opinion, it feels like you always are running around and you just immediately die. Like, there's no chance of you surviving. You can see in some of these clips here, you will spawn in front of people already firing their weapons. It's just not really fun to play on when it's 8v8. On top of that, it's just really easy to camp on. There's a lot of camping spots and like all the crates and stuff, and it gets really obnoxious to have to like run through all the crates and try not to get killed. And finally, it's just a lot of shotgun spam. It's just like I said in DOS House, a lot of people running shotguns with gung ho, and it's just really obnoxious to play against those kind of people. Now, to end out this multiplayer section, I'm just going to talk about the overall gameplay as a whole, which I'm going to be covering all of it just as one. So let's just start off with the players. Players have been bad since the release of Modern Warfare in 2019. I don't know what happened, but that was a turning point for Call of Duty, where it felt like everybody did the same thing. They all ran the same classes, they all started camping. It was just really, really sad because I've never seen Call of Duty that way. Black Ops 2 was like my turning point. That's where I started getting really into Call of Duty. Seeing everyone run around doing trick shots and just doing random things. Every weapon was balanced. Everyone was using different weapons. It was all just kind of fun. And then all of these weapons in these newer Call of Duties started getting either really buffed or really nerfed, and there's only one meta weapon, and nobody really cared what the other weapons were about. So now I just see people either camping or running around like maniacs and just killing everybody with the most ease they have ever seen. One thing I want to cover on really quickly though is just the skill-based matchmaking in the game is a little bit scuffed. It's not too awful like it was in past installments, but in this game it's just a little bit harder to play with because some games you'll play with the easiest people to kill, and then the next game you'll load in and there's going to be people running around, sprinting, doing the exact same thing I was just talking about in the last point. One last thing I want to mention about the players, there's just a lot of funny hot mics. I've met some people on there that are just really, really funny, just constantly talking. It's just pretty hilarious. This has nothing to do with the actual game. It's just people on there are really funny. Next, I want to talk about this new pacing system that they implemented into the game. I'm in more of like a love-hate relationship with this kind of thing. I like it because if you want to go fast-paced, you can go with the blitz mode and you can go with the assault mode. If you want to go more slower-paced and you want to have less people on the field, you can play the casual mode with the regular 6v6 kind of stuff, right? It's more interesting to me. It's kind of how they had ground war and then just regular games back in like Modern Warfare, and it's more of kind of like, I guess, a way to make you feel like you have more of a choice to choose whether or not you want to play with a lot more people with like more fast-paced gameplay, or if you want to play with less people and have a lot slower gameplay. The reason I dislike it though is just blitz maps feel a little smaller compared to how ground war maps used to be back on Modern Warfare, for example. I like the idea of blitz mode, and I like the idea of being able to play with upwards of 12 to sometimes I think 24 on some games, but it's just some of the maps feel really small for how many people are in the game. I don't think a lot of the maps really suit how many people are playing on them, but overall I think the pacing system is alright. I think it could just use a little bit of tweaking. Now I want to talk about the kill streaks. Now the kill streaks in the game, they're all pretty usual, but I want to talk about specifically just the death machine and the war machine. Now if you've played any past installment of Call of Duty, you would know if you use a death machine or a war machine, they will shred through people really easily. Now one thing I do like about this new game with the war machine and death machine is the fact that they are a lot more user friendly. When you die with the death machine and war machine in past installments, you lose it. You can't use it anymore after you first die with it. But in Vanguard, when you die with it, you get to keep it, and it makes it a little bit easier for these newer players that have never played a Call of Duty game or have never gotten these score streaks to really be able to experience what it's like to use them. Now the reason that I dislike these score streaks is because they kind of nerfed how strong they were. And you know, I guess obviously you would have to nerf it to make it a little bit more balanced. If you're going to be able to keep it after death, you can't be able to kill people with one shot with a death machine, right? But they made it so that the death machine does such little damage and the war machine does such little damage at all. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna play some footage in the background of me just playing with the war machine, and you can see it's not the best to play with. Now in this footage you can see that I've hit probably upwards of 2 or 3 hit markers in a row, which is really bad. It's a really strong grenade launcher, and the fact that you can just keep hitting people for hit markers with a grenade launcher, it's an explosive. It's just kind of bad to see that you can blow people up but then not get any damage dealt to them. Now last thing I want to talk about is this end of game kind of system that they implemented. Now they've always had this best play thing since I can remember. Back in World War II they had the best play and then also final kills, and the issue with the best plays, they're all really buggy. Half the time it's either just one person getting a single kill, sometimes they'll be getting like 6 kills, sometimes you won't even see the actual kill because it'll just bug out and you'll just see the map and that's it. They need to probably patch this. There's not much else that I can say about it other than they need to start working on patching that. Another thing is the MVP system that they have at the end of the match, where your team gets to pick between the top 3 players that had most of 3 different subjects, which can be selected off of a big variety of things, and in my opinion it's just kind of unnecessary. We don't really need this. Nobody's ever asked for this. You do get XP for every time that you vote. You get like 25 extra XP, but the reason I don't like it is every single character animation is the exact same. Every single character has 2 animations, and it's really funny because all you'll see is just the same animations over and over. It's either the one where they pistol whip somebody, or they're all gonna have their own signature pose, which I think a couple of them aren't even signature poses. I think a couple of them are repeated poses. Overall, I think they just need some more animations, if anything, because they need to add some more variety. Each character is going to have the same animations. A lot of the people use the same animation when they don't have anything. It's just the gun butt, and they just need to start working on getting some more animations out. Maybe some ones that aren't you having to pay for them, but some that you can just get by leveling up your character to like level 40, 50, 60, like get them high levels. Now, with talking about the entirety of multiplayer, I'm going to say with a solid answer that multiplayer out of 10 is going to get a rating of a 7.5. The reason for this, I just feel like it's very mediocre. It's not really anything new to the table. Not much is different from other things other than the pacing system and the voting on the MVP system. Besides that, everything else seems very cookie cutter and just kind of like put into place like every other game has been. So for that reason only, I'm going to give multiplayer a 7.5 out of 10 rating. After almost 2 months of work, this video is finally done, and I have to say I am so happy with it. I have put all of my love and time into this video, and I am very thankful for how it's come out. I'm really happy with it, and I hope that anyone that watched it to the end is also as happy as I am with it. So if you guys did watch to the very end, please go to the comment section. Just go comment the word Vanguard, and I will heart your comment. I will be so thankful if you guys did make it to the very end. I will love you forever. I just hope you guys enjoy these kind of long videos. I like making them. And if you guys would like to see more of these, then just, you know, tell me about it in the comments below. And if not, I'll make sure to just sprinkle them in every now and then. But for now, we're just going to have this one long video go back to regular, like, Brawlhalla and Minecraft stuff just later on. So if you guys did enjoy the video, please make sure to go like and comment. Also, please don't forget to subscribe. If you can, if you have anybody that likes Call of Duty or Vanguard or anything like that, or just gaming videos in general, please feel free to share this video with them and maybe just have them, like, check out my content. I want to grow a bit of an audience, and that would be the best way for anybody to be able to see my content if people that they know show them this content, you know. As well as that, please feel free to come join the Discord if you haven't already. It's a small community in there, but I want it to grow, and I want to have more people in there so that we can just talk and just grow that little, I want to call it an empire. We're going to call it an empire, yeah. So I want to just grow that a little bit, and hopefully it will get big enough to have a lot of people in it. I'm really hoping for that one day. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching to the end. If you did, like I said already, go comment Vanguard in the comment section below if you already haven't, and please go check out some of my other content. I have gaming videos, I have commentary videos, I have a lot of different kind of genres here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Have a Merry Christmas, and I love you all. Peace.